Well, hello everybody, and welcome to a beginner's guide to fieldwork in disc golf. In today's video, we're going to be covering the form work element of fieldwork. This is a three-part series that will be going up over the next few days. Now, with anything in disc golf, the most important thing is to do reps upon reps upon reps of whatever you're trying to get better at. So it's going to take time. It's going to be frustrating at some points, but you have to just get out here, get into a field, and be able to throw, be able to putt, be able to work on whatever you want to work on to get better. Now, before you start any form change or you start any field work session, the most important thing that you can do is warm up your body. And that could be through stretching. In my opinion, one of the best ways to do it is either resistance bands or just throwing very soft, throwing very down tempo. That's what I do. I have a stack of putters, a stack of mids. I never go above mids when I'm just warming up, and I will just throw them very soft and just warm up my body and be ready to get rid of bad habits. As you can see, just out here, just very soft, very casual throwing. Not really worrying about the form right now. Don't have to think about too much right now. Just as smooth as you can, very soft. Just get a disc out there. Warm up your elbow, warm up your shoulder, warm up your arm, warm up your hips, and be prepared to make the changes that you're willing to make and still be healthy and feeling good while you do it. And if I'm feeling good that day, I will slowly ramp up a little bit, just preparing my body to throw at the speed that I want to when I'm making my form changes. So as I alluded to before, most of field work is getting rid of old habits to build good habits that will ultimately gain you consistency, distance, better feel, just ultimate control of your game. In my opinion, the best way to build these new habits and get rid of old ones is to start going slower in your form. Tempo down, record in slow motion to see the small things that you're doing wrong, and force those old habits out by seeing why they happen. And for when I make form change, for the videos I record, I go with my three mids when I record in slow motion because they are really consistent with my arm speed, and I can easily show the flight characteristics of them despite what I change in my form. And I wouldn't go above recording 3 throws in a row. And of course, you want to pace yourself when you do your throws with new form, because being fatigued could end up you lacking in changing your form. You go back to old habits. So what I'm going to work on now is I'm going to work on my timing on my reach back, and that's it for the day. Some form changes can take a lot longer than others, but my rule of thumb is I will work on one part of my form for about a week. And if it needs more work after that, then I'll keep on going with it. If not, move on to the next thing. That next thing may break what I fixed, and then you just have to work back and forth until you can fix both things, fix everything with your form, and it will become smooth, fluid, and you'll be able to throw better and farther. So as you can see, I am now in iMovie, and what I do after I record my throws in slow motion is I will put them in iMovie to where I can scrub through these really easily. Also, I can change the speed of these by just pressing here on the video, then going to what looks like a speedometer. Then all you have to do is move it to 1 times, and then it's back to one fluid motion. But now to look at the form and what I look for. It takes a lot of time to have an ideal form to look up to. And as I scrub through this video, as I said, all I was really working on, all I was focusing on was that reach back. Now, if you look at this, when I reach full extension, my foot is on the ground. This, to me, is an ideal position for me. And if I was in this position every single time, then a lot of my inconsistency would be cut off. And from that position, in my opinion, it is really easy for me to get to the power pocket because if I'm early, the disc is going to raise and it's going to make my power pocket a lot higher, and I'm going to almost be air bouncing the disc. So as you can see, I bring the disc up no matter what because my power pocket is high. That's the next thing I'm going to fix. But as you can see, zero rounding here. This is a straight pull through to a hit point. And because all I was focusing on was my reach back, other parts of my form will fail. But if I can get that reach back to be muscle memory, then it's going to be great for my form in the late run. And as you can see, this disc comes out very fast. It's an easy hyzer flip with an MD1. Looks smooth. So I look at that, and then I go to the next video. Now I go to the second throw. As of right now, I'm not worried about the run up, only the reach back, only my timing. As you see, full reach back, foot's barely on the ground. This is not as good as the first shot. It reassures me that this is something that I need to continue to work on to create the muscle memory. As you can see, this gets pulled through, hit point, this comes out fast, looks fast even in slow motion. Watch the flight because you're in a field. That's, in my opinion, that's one of the best benefits of being in the field. And just keep on repping that over and over and over. Now look at the last one. Full extension barely reached, foot still a little bit up. Still get back to the position, get to my power pocket, be able to throw, and be able to be smooth with my form. Getting reps upon reps upon reps of making sure that my mind is focused on that one change to where it can become muscle memory. And as I said, I will just keep on working on that timing over and over and over. And eventually, it'll become muscle memory. It'll become way more consistent. My throws will get better. My distance will get better. The feel of the disc will get better. But you can't just work on one part of your game only, because many courses require that you have a lot of shot shapes in your bag. That's why it's important to also be able to safely forehand. To me, forehand is a lot less about timing and smoothness than it is about just being athletic. Form work with your forehand can be in a lot of different ways. As backhand, you really have two main grips, which is fan grip and power grip, and you really find that on your own. Forehand is really centered around the grip and the wrist. And in my opinion, forehand is much more about just getting out there, doing reps upon reps upon reps to be able to get that feel, even more than backhand is. Because forehand, you have to get rid of off-axis torque. You have to get out of rolling your wrist. You have to get out of bad habits that ultimately destroy the throw even more than bad form in backhand does. And again, it's more about safety with forehand than anything else, because forehand is a lot more taxing on your shoulder, your elbow, your joints. So what you will see me working on in my forehand form is being a lot more rotational on the outside and being able to plant my foot and put all of the energy from my back foot into the front foot and then back out the disc to get more spin and more distance. Now again, back in CapCut, just ready to look at the form. As I said, trying to be more rotational. You look at this, that this is on the outside, really wide, comes back to the left a little bit. Now, my forehand is not up to par to my backhand because I've repped my backhand so much more. But this is something that I like to see in what I'm trying to change when I'm trying to be more rotational. Now, if you look at the front foot, it looks very awkward. I do get a lot of the weight there, but I am slightly having my center of gravity in between where the front foot is right here in the back foot where it's coming off. So I'm still not getting all my weight to the front foot. And I think it's a lot harder to spot extreme problems with forehand form. And again, it's just rep after rep after rep. So as you can see, form work, field work is a lot about time, patience, and just being out here to go rep after rep after rep. As you can see, my forehand's not the best, but I will still get out here and throw it over and over and over until I can figure out my best way of throwing the disc that way. So I hope you enjoyed this video. This was part 1 of 3. Next is distance. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching.